Welcome to the Saturday morning live broadcast. We have had some YouTube gremlins in the works already today, but I've got a brand new video for you. And this morning I want to share with you details of a product that was announced a few days ago, and also talk to you about a really awesome product because I'm finally, a little bit late to the party, but I'm getting a Xbox One X in to both review and enjoy, and obviously share my experience with you. And playing a games console and keeping the audio really good, but also not disturbing those around you, is sometimes a very important factor. I've got a really awesome headset to share with you a little bit later on in this broadcast. But before we move on to taking a look at this product, if you've been watching my videos recently, you'll know that I've been going along this journey of falling out of love with Apple and iOS 11 and my iPhone 7 Plus, falling out of love with the iPhone 8 Plus that I reviewed on the channel, and also not falling in love with the iPhone 10 or iPhone X as some so-called reviewers refer to it. And without going over old ground again, I was just really quite saddened on... It sounds bad, but one shouldn't be affected by a device or what a company does so much. But I've spent so many years of my life using Apple products and really enjoying them. And then it probably started around about 2 or 3 years ago, where I started to become disappointed with Apple's quality control and how iOS was going. And also seeing, even to a certain degree, how the desktop and laptop operating system, Mac OS, now High Sierra, was also going as well, because it seemed to be an amalgamation of the two. And with the recent release of the so-called MacBook Pro, with the emoticon bar, or touch bar as it's officially called, I just didn't like the direction. And then iOS 11 started becoming a real issue for me on my iPhone 7 Plus. It wasn't much better, albeit that the stutters were a bit quicker on the iPhone 8 Plus. And then with the iPhone 10, again, without wanting to repeat what I've already said in previous broadcasts, I just couldn't get over the notch. Still couldn't get over the problems with iOS. So I've been on this journey. I digress slightly, but this is the backstory which is leading up to me talking to you about this new product announcement from OnePlus. I've been on this journey over the past, I would say 3 months, and I'm really switching. People say, Dave, you'll never do it. You won't switch from iOS to Android, but I am really doing it. I'm on this discovery path as to which device is going to become my daily driver. Now, I've tried a few recently. I've tried some Sony smartphones, which were lone devices, the Xperia XZ1 and the XZ1 Compact. The XZ1 Compact was never going to be my daily driver because it's too small. The XZ1, amazing device. I also tried recently the Galaxy Note 8. Again, amazing device. Really very impressed with it. And then a few phones that have been on my radar have been the Razer phone. I've reached out to them. They haven't come back to me. Also the HTC U11 Plus. Again, I've reached out to them. They haven't come back to me. But I still am determined to get that one in to actually test. Also the Huawei Mate 10 Pro interests me. But again, I'm not going to spend my own funds on that. If they would like that covered on the channel, then Huawei, if you are watching, please do send one in. But then just a few days ago, there was an announcement which we knew was going to happen, and that was from OnePlus. Now, they released the OnePlus 5, I think it was around about June this year. And then just 5-6 months later, they've announced another smartphone which has actually been announced and launched, and it's going to be delivered next week, and I have got one coming in. So I'm going to switch to showing you this smartphone, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. This is the OnePlus 5T, and for all intents and purposes this is what the OnePlus 5 should have been, but maybe the technology wasn't available to them at the price point they needed. And it looks like a really good smartphone. It's a very highly specified smartphone at a really good price. Now this is coming in the UK at £449. That's for the entry level model, and then at £499 for the higher end model. Now this is what the phone looks like. You can see it on your screen at the moment. You can see this near bezel-less design. So we've got a really nice design. On the front of this, it's an AMOLED screen, and it's available in two different models. You can either get one with a 64 gigabytes of storage, and that comes with 6 gigabytes of RAM, or indeed you can also get one with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and that bumps the storage up to 128 gigabytes. Now the only downside with this particular smartphone when it comes to storage is there's no micro SD card slot, which I think is a little bit of a shame, because I would have liked to have seen some sort of expandable memory. But let's go to the main specifications here. So we've got what they're calling a full optic AMOLED display, and this has got an 18:9 ratio, so it's one of these taller aspect ratios, which I think looks okay. I think it looks perfectly acceptable. I have seen some early hands-on experience with this on YouTube, and people are saying that off axis it gives this sort of rainbow colour, but this is at acute viewing angles, so it's not how somebody's going to look at the smartphone. I'll demonstrate this in a short while. It's also got a Snapdragon 835 processor, dual cameras on the rear, dual cameras on the rear, both 20 megapixels. As far as I know, or I think they're both the same megapixel rating on the rear, but one of them is sort of lower light, but definitely not different fields of view. Maybe this is their way of dealing with low light photography on a smartphone. And then, as I mentioned, the top end model comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. On your screen now you can see some of the other specifications. We've got no wireless charging, again a shame, but not necessary, because we've got really fast charging on here. USB Type-C. It has kept the 3.5mm audio jack. Little bit of a shame it's running Google Android 7.1.1 out of the box, with an upgrade to Android version 8.0 very, very soon. I would imagine we'll probably see that this year, or at least in January of next year. Here's some connectivity information for you. That AMOLED screen is 6 inches plus a 0.01 for good measure, but 6 inches. We've also got Bluetooth 5 in here as well, which is good to see. And let's come on to these cameras. So the rear camera, so this is the main camera, so apologies for the confusion earlier on. The main rear camera is 16 megapixels, and then the secondary sensor is 20 megapixels, and you can see the pixel size on the 16 megapixel one here is 1.12, which means it gathers more light. They're larger pixel areas there. Capable of capturing 4K video as well, which is really good. And then the front camera is a 16 megapixel front camera, capable of capturing up to 1080p video. So some really nice specifications here. Inside the box, it's also nice to note that there is a screen protector pre-applied to this smartphone, and you also get a case inside the box as well, and this dash charger, which charges the smartphone up very, very quickly indeed. So that's the summary of all of the specifications. I mentioned about this, I've seen it in this hands-on video. There's like a rainbow effect to the screen if you're looking at it at acute angles. But that was with somebody demonstrating it, looking at it like this, you know, at this sort of angle. No one's going to do that. No one's going to look at their phone at that angle. You're going to hold it up in front of you. And it was really acute viewing angles that was causing this rainbow effect. So I'm really excited for the OnePlus 5T. As I mentioned, I've got one coming in, and I'm just super, super excited to actually be able to share my experience with you about it. And hopefully, because I look for really good camera performance in my smartphones, and hopefully that will deliver good camera experience. I'm also really keen obviously on that HTC U11 Plus, because the camera on that, for what it's worth, should be a really good performer as well. And these software implementations we're seeing now means that we're getting a really good software experience in combination with the optics. And a lot of the camera manufacturers, Apple included, are using HDR as the default setting on the cameras. So before I move on to showing you this really cool product, let me know if you've got any questions in the comment section. Also, I'm going to ask your feedback. I've been switching around the setup lately, and I'm actually using the iMac, which is sitting behind me here. If I just duck down, you can just about see it. I'm using the iMac to do the stream. It's got a little bit more processing power than the streams when I was using the MacBook Pro, and should result in a lot smoother video. I also switched back from using the Yeti microphone, which again is sitting on the desk just behind me here. You can just see it in the background. And I switched back to the Rode NT USB. I just found that the audio sounded a lot smoother with the Rode. I think the video looks great. I'd like your feedback in the comment section. If you would entertain me and let me know what you think of both the video and the audio quality. The audio seems to be jumping a little bit in levels. I'm not sure if that's something with the iMac, which I'm sharing across to this screen as well. But the audio levels seem to have settled down a little bit, but they do peak. If I get a little bit too close to the microphone, they do peak. So let's take a look down in the comment section. Hello to everybody for tuning into the broadcast. I really do appreciate it. We've got plenty of you here. We've got Pip Tomlinson, Mark Appleton, Carlos, Ryan Darcy and Raymond Moore, and plenty others as well. Thanks very much for tuning in. Pip Tomlinson says the OnePlus 5T might be the best alternative to the Pixel 2 XL at a much lower cost. Very, very true. If the camera performs well enough on this OnePlus 5T, I think it's going to be the sleeper smartphone of this year, because the pricing, although it has crept up from when OnePlus first came onto the market, the pricing on the 5T is really quite impressive. To bring us those specifications for £449 or £499 is amazing. And as I say, if that camera performs, it's going to be a really good smartphone choice. In addition to that, it's worth mentioning, I did see somebody who's had a OnePlus 5 since launch, and I think it was on the Twitcast network, and they said it's performing more or less the same as when it came fresh out of the box, which I think is a very impressive claim. I think to be able to keep the speed without any sort of noticeable slowdown is a really good thing to be able to say about a phone. We've got Carlos saying, "Hi Dave, you do not stop lately. I thought your job was relaxed, but I see it is not." I just love creating content, and I made this announcement, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, that I was going to change my content completely. I will still from time to time do some pre-recorded videos, but I wanted things to become more current. And when I was doing the pre-recorded videos, I would find that I was working, a week, maybe 10 days in advance, and I wasn't then able to dedicate the time to covering things like the OnePlus 5T, which was only announced I think 2 days ago. So it just allows me to do the live broadcast, which I'm doing. Probably 90% of the content on the channel now is going to be live. Also allows me to communicate with you guys as well, and the feedback is absolutely amazing, because I love just interacting with you in the chat. Whilst just mentioning the chat, I always try and answer as many questions as possible. If you do want your comment or question highlighted, then there is the super chat feature available down in the comments or chat section as well. Carlos also says, "I tried to switch to the S8 and came back to the iPhone 8 Plus 3 months later." Yeah, it is hard to make that switch. I'm going to find it very difficult. I find it difficult when I'm reviewing smartphones, because I have to keep switching between one and the other. But I'm certainly going to give it a really fair try. Carlos says the reason was not the quality, but that it did not offer me the important advantages, considering efforts I had to do to get used to Android. I guess that if I'd always been an Android user, I wouldn't buy an iPhone. Yeah, that's very true. Although I have heard of people getting bored of Android and switching across to iOS. So it goes both ways. Ryan Darcy says, considering the iPhone 10 costs £1,000, the OnePlus seems fantastic value for the spec. On paper, it sounds amazing. It really does. The fact that we're getting this smartphone for £449 or £499 for the top end model is really quite impressive that they've done it at that price point. And the build quality looks good as well. Something I forgot to mention, it's also got a rear fingerprint sensor, and it also does Face ID. Not quite as developed maybe, or not maybe quite as secure as Apple's iPhone 10 Face ID, but it is there, and it looked really fast in the videos that I've seen. Ryan Darcy, thank you for the feedback. Video looks great, Dave. Audio is great. And also from Carlos and from Wayne Waters, looks and sounds great. Thank you very much. I appreciate the feedback because it allows me to gauge if I'm improving the quality of these live broadcasts for you, which is an important factor to me, because when I'm pre-recording videos, I have control over so many different aspects. And doing things live, you sort of lose a little bit because you're relying on the internet, you're relying on YouTube as well. So getting as much right as I can whilst I'm broadcasting just makes it a better experience for everyone. Chris Bryson says, I think the OnePlus is a great phone. The OP5 is the best phone I've ever had. That is really good to hear. So you're on the OnePlus 5. And Raymond Moore is asking, how is the Razer phone progress? When can we expect the unboxing? I was promised a Razer phone from a supplier in the UK. I still think it's going to happen. It's going to be a loan device for perhaps a week to 10 days, something like that. I am pushing forwards with it. If it doesn't happen, where on earth I'm going to find the revenue and the funds to do it? Because it's sort of, when I buy phones in, it's a real loss for me to do that revenue wise, unless it's something like an Apple device. So what I did with the iPhone 10, where it was purchased in to review and I already had somebody lined up to actually take that off my hands and put the revenue back into the Geekanoids channel. With these other smartphones, when there's so many different Android models, not everyone wants a Razer phone. Not everyone's heard of a Razer phone. But finding somebody for an iPhone 10, obviously a lot easier. So it's something I'm working on. I am working on. And something that you can do, the community here in the broadcast, is you can tweet Razer and you can tweet the CEO of Razer and say, hey, we want to see Geekanoids cover this smartphone. So that could help. If enough people ask, maybe they will start to listen. But I've had no direct response from Razer so far. And I love their products. I've reviewed so many of their products. But anyway, I digress. I will come back to some more questions very, very shortly. But for now, I want to show you this. And this is in preparation for some potential hardcore gaming on the Xbox One X. So I'm going to show you the product packaging first of all, and then the amazing product. So this is a product from Plantronics. This is what the box looks like. It's the RIG 800LX, and it's a gaming headset, wireless gaming headset, that works either on Windows 10 or indeed on the Xbox One or on the Xbox One X. And it actually connects via like a USB connection. It's got self-adjusting headband, really good features. Let me show you some of the features on the side here. So you can look at this now, or if you want to come back to this video after the live broadcast, you can check out all of these features on the side of the box. And I'll just show you the back of the box as well. This has got some more of the specification. And this is the Dolby Atmos Special Edition. 24-hour battery life, really immersive sound, and also a game and chat mixer as well. So that's what the actual box looks like. Also inside the box, as well as the headset, you do get a USB to micro USB cable. You also get this box here, which is like the USB wireless box. Got a little push button on the top as well for linking the headset. So you plug this into your console and then click the button here, click the button on the headset to link it up, and then you're good to go. It's got like green on the bottom, so a little bit of colour. Not that you're going to see that, but it would have been nice to have seen some green highlights around here perhaps. But this is just like the little connection box. And then you get the headset itself. Now we'll just mention that if you're looking to pick up one of these for yourself, I have left links to this down in the video description. So do check that out. You can pick one of these up. It is an investment, this one. You know, it is a pricey headset, but it does perform very well. And I'll come on to the quality in a short while. I have also left a link down in the video description where you can actually check out the OnePlus 5T accessories that are available. So do check that out as well. Anyway, back to the 800LX. So this gives you like a virtual 3D sound, and it really does work. It's the audio sort of does sweep around you. This is thanks to the Dolby Atmos technology in these. 24 hours of wireless listening from a single charge. Also got a 10 meter range. That's a 10 meter range from this box that I showed you earlier. And there's also a mic mute function as well. So this is the microphone just here. Really very, very good microphone. It's bendy, so you can, let me give you a better look at that. So you can bend this microphone into position. So when you're wearing them, you can get that in a really nice position. We've also got on this ear cup here, if I can give you a close-up look of that, we've got various controls, and this is for sort of overall volume, also for mixing between game and in-game chat, and we've also got the power button and linking switch built in here. And then this one here, if I can just show you that side again, we've also got the micro USB charging socket. And then we've also got really good padding on the cups. Now let me just put this on. You can see the self-adjusting headband here as well, which pulls out of the sides. And when you've got it on, the padding is just super comfortable. So this is what it looks like on. And as I mentioned, this microphone, you can actually put it all the way up if you don't want to use chat, or you can pull it down into position, and then you can adjust it sort of nearer to your mouth so that you're getting better audio. And then these controls on the side, let's just take this off again. These controls on the side, so the bottom one here, so the one nearest to the microphone, you can turn the overall volume up and down. And then this top one here moves it between sort of in-game audio and chat, so you can get the level right. And then this middle one, the middle switch, is for the power and linking of the headset. Also worth noting is that although there's no rotation on this axis of the ear cups, they do swivel sort of in and out a little bit, so you can get a really sort of comfortable fit with these. The padding is minimal on the top, but because of the way the headband works, it's a really comfortable fit. They're not too heavy. They look like a really bulky sort of headset, but they aren't too heavy. I'll just give you a look at the design of the side there, so you can see the side profile. Really nice looking headset. And then again, I'll give you a side profile from here. I just think they're really nicely made. Now, before I move on to audio quality, let's talk about just the materials used. They look very sporty. You know, it's a very sort of industrial, gaming orientated design, and so it should be. The quality of the plastics used here is very good indeed. On the side of the ear cups, I'm not sure if you can see that, but behind here there is like a carbon fibre effect, which again looks really great. And then the quality of the material used here, this is super soft, very soft indeed. I really do like that a lot. I will just cover off some more of the specifications very quickly. It's saying sound isolating ear cups on their website. I would say that is pretty accurate. You know, they do cut out a lot of the outside sound, and also you don't get a lot of sound leaking out of these headsets. There's a 40mm driver in here as well with bass tube, so you get that lower bass frequency. And as I mentioned, Dolby Atmos technology in these, which really do. I was dubious when somebody claims, oh, virtual surround sound, or you know, you get surround sound in a pair of headphones. I was dubious as to whether to believe that, but when you're experiencing it, you do get that sense of sound sweeping around behind you, and I think that's very impressive indeed. And overall, the audio quality delivered on these, I even put these on and just listen to some regular audio tracks, some music tracks, and the lower frequencies are impressive. These do go very, very low. You'll be really impressed with the bass frequency from these. And with regards to like voices, like vocals, very clear, like just super clear. I've tested a lot of earphones and headphones for music listening during my time producing videos on Geekanoids, and these are an investment. You know, these aren't a cheap pair of headphones or gaming headset, but these equal some of the really high-end audio headphones that are designed for music listening, and these are for gaming. They're that good. The amount of detail they deliver really is good. The higher, what I would say, it's not really a negative or a deal breaker, but I would say that because of the bass frequency that these deliver, sometimes the bass does come over a bit sort of bass heavy, and it sort of takes over the higher frequencies, so you might lose out on some of those intricate details if something is going on in the lower frequencies. So just the balance there sometimes seems a little tiny bit bass heavy, but that's me being very, very nitpicky. Now these are the RIG 800LX. I can't remember the specs of the other ones, but we've also got some sort of other models in the range which will become obviously more affordable. So the next model down is the RIG 600LX, and they are a wired pair of headphones. That keeps the cost down a bit. They connect via 3.5mm, still Dolby Atmos, and they look very, very good indeed. And then there's also the RIG 400LX, which is like the entry level range. They look more like these. The mid-range have got a slightly different styling, but the 400LX look more like these. They lose out on the bass tube, still 40mm drivers, and again wired, still Dolby Atmos. So there's something at all levels in the range. These are the top end model. These are the 800LX, and I think they sound and look superb. They're a really good pair of headphones, and if you're into your gaming, the audio that accompanies your gaming is very important. And investing in something like this that are really robust, they look super well made, and they sound amazing as well, I think is an acceptable thing to do, because these deliver really good audio. I can't emphasize that enough. And as I mentioned during my opinion about the audio delivered, about this Dolby Atmos thing, I really thought it was a gimmick. I really did think, no, it's not going to work. You know, ignore what it says on the box, but it does actually work. It is very, very convincing indeed. So we have got Wayne Water saying 3.5mm headphone jack. I think you're referring to the OnePlus 5T. Yes, it does have an audio jack on it already. Raymond Moore referring to the RIG 800LX headset. Is Dolby Atmos better than virtual 7.1 surround sound? I think it is. I think it seemed a lot more engaging. It certainly sort of seemed to surround me more convincingly. And although you didn't get necessarily the height that Dolby Atmos is meant to deliver, it just seemed to engage me a lot more. So I think it was definitely on par, if not a tiny bit better than a regular virtual 7.1 surround sound headset. But it depends on what headset model or manufacturer's sort of headset you're going for, because some of them that I've tested haven't done a fantastic job. I used a friend's pair of virtual surround sound headphones, and it sounded just like a regular pair of headphones. It didn't deliver any of the sort of engagement that I was expecting, whereas these definitely impressed me. They really did. Ryan Darcy says, I missed the price, Dave. Can you mention the price again, please? I'm not sure if you're referring to the OnePlus 5T or the RIG 800LX, so I'll give you both, because I'm that kind of guy. The OnePlus 5T that I covered off in the first part of this broadcast is £449 in the UK for the 64GB model with 6GB of RAM, and it's £499 for the 128GB storage model that comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So that's the two choices there. And then with regards to the Plantronics RIG 800LX, that's coming in at approximately around about 180 to 189 pounds in the UK, and I think when I checked it in the United States, around about $189 in the United States. So this is a big investment for a gaming headset, but as I mentioned earlier, well worth considering. So anyway, that is it for this broadcast. I'm really looking forward to taking delivery of my Xbox One X. I waited until a particular retailer got it into stock to actually order it, purely because, and you'll know who it is if you're in the UK, but purely because it came with a 2-year guarantee or 2-year warranty, which is 1 year over and above what Microsoft offer. Yes, I didn't get the deal that Microsoft were doing where you got 4 or 7 for £20, but that was neither here nor there. I would rather have the extended warranty. And also, I'm really excited about the OnePlus 5T, and something I almost forgot to mention. OnePlus 5T, you can obviously order it from OnePlus themselves, but in the UK, you can order it from O2. Now, you can get it on contract, or you can buy it on pay-as-you-go. Comes with a free SIM card. You don't have to top the SIM card up, and I have heard from experience from the OnePlus 5 that they do come unlocked SIM-free, but don't quote me on that. I don't think they're locked to the network. I certainly hope they're not, otherwise I'm going to be very, very upset. But you can buy it outright from O2. The current deal with O2, if you pre-order it now, is you get a free year of Xbox Live membership of, so 12 months, which is a value of about £40. Perfect timing, absolutely perfect timing, because OnePlus 5T coming in, 3-year Xbox Live membership, Xbox One X, you get where I'm going here? I am a happy camper, I really am. So really, really pleased that they've got that current offer on. I think it's just for pre-orders only. Not sponsored by O2, but if you are going to order the OnePlus 5T, I would jump on the pre-order, because you've got that extra value, even if you haven't got an Xbox One X. Perfect gift for somebody who's got one for Christmas, or you could possibly sell it on the likes of eBay or Amazon if they allow you to sell Xbox Live memberships, and you could probably regain £30 back on your purchase price. So little tip for you there as well, bonus. Anyway, that is it for this video. If you want to check out any of the products I've mentioned during this broadcast, there is links down in the video description. I'd like to wish you a very, very happy weekend wherever you are. Have a fantastic time. Don't forget to tell everyone about the Geekanoids channel, because I'm live broadcasting really frequently now and absolutely love doing it, love making the content. So get some more people on board. Tell them about Geekanoids. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.